Seiko shocked the watch world repeatedly in recent years, with unexpected moves that left collectors scrambling and market values shifting overnight. From sudden discontinuations creating instant collector pieces to surprise reintroductions nobody anticipated, these market disruptions caught even seasoned enthusiasts completely off guard. Understanding these shifts reveals where Seiko is heading and which current models might explode in value next. Let's explore the top 10 Seiko market moves that absolutely nobody saw coming. Number 10. Seiko 5 Sports SKX Style SRPD Series. When Seiko discontinued the legendary SKX dive watches, collectors mourned the loss of affordable automatic divers that defined the brand. Then Seiko surprised everyone by launching the SRPD series featuring SKX-inspired design with upgraded 4R36 movements, offering hand-winding and hacking. The timing shocked the market as enthusiasts had already started hoarding discontinued SKX models, expecting values to skyrocket permanently. Initial reception was mixed, with purists complaining about increased pricing from $200 SKX to $275 SRPD, but the improved movement justified costs. What nobody expected was how quickly these new models gained acceptance, becoming the new standard for affordable Seiko dive watches. The SRPD 79 Save the Ocean editions particularly exploded in popularity, creating waitlists at authorized dealers within months of release. Secondary market activity showed these watches holding value remarkably well, unlike typical mass-produced Seiko models that depreciate immediately after purchase. The market realized Seiko successfully modernized their most iconic affordable dive watch without destroying what made the original special. Number 9. Seiko Prospex LX Line SNR 029. Nobody expected Seiko to launch a luxury Prospex line, challenging grand Seiko pricing, with dive watches costing over $6,000. The SNR 029 features spring drive movement, titanium construction, and Zaratsu polishing typically reserved for Grand Seiko, creating confusion about brand positioning. Critics questioned why anyone would buy Prospex LX when Grand Seiko offered similar quality with more prestigious branding at comparable prices. The market initially rejected these watches, with authorized dealers struggling to move inventory, sitting unsold for months after launch, disappointingly. Then something unexpected happened, as collectors recognized the unique value proposition combining tool watch ruggedness with Grand Seiko finishing quality. The titanium construction and superior water resistance offered advantages over similarly priced Grand Seiko dress watches for active collectors preferring versatility. Spring drive accuracy and professional dive watch created niche appeal for enthusiasts wanting best of both mechanical and quartz worlds. Secondary market values stabilized near retail. As limited production created scarcity, collectors began appreciating more over time, surprisingly. Number 8. Seiko Presage Craftsmanship Sharp-Edged GMT. Seiko shocked the affordable GMT market by introducing sharp-edged GMT models with Zaratsu-inspired polishing at under $1,500. The angular cases with dramatic faceting created visual impact rivaling Grand Seiko while maintaining presage pricing accessibility for most collectors. What stunned the market was the finishing quality, with distortion-free mirror surfaces on watches costing fraction of Swiss GMT alternatives. The 6R54 GMT movement offered true collar GMT functionality rather than simplified office GMT found on many competitors at this price. Critics initially dismissed these as overpriced presage models, until hands-on experience revealed the exceptional case finishing throughout every surface. Authorized dealers reported surprising demand, with certain dial colors selling out immediately, creating secondary market premiums within weeks of launch. The SPB 221 white dial variant particularly exploded, becoming nearly impossible to find at retail pricing from authorized dealers. Watch forums buzzed with comparisons to Grand Seiko, sparking debates about whether Seiko had cannibalized their own luxury line unintentionally. Number 7. King Seiko Reintroduction. The watch world exploded when Seiko announced King Seiko's return. After decades of dormancy, nobody expected from the brand. King Seiko historically competed with Grand Seiko internally during the 1960s, before both lines were discontinued, creating legendary vintage pieces. Collectors anticipated Grand Seiko pricing if King Seiko returned, but Seiko shocked everyone with sub-$1,000 pricing for most references. The KSK line featured Zaratsu polishing, high-accuracy movements, and finishing quality that blurred lines between Seiko and Grand Seiko confusingly. What stunned collectors was how Seiko differentiated King Seiko from Grand Seiko despite similar manufacturing techniques and quality standards throughout. The vintage-inspired 37 to 39 mm sizing appealed to collectors seeking appropriately proportioned dress watches in oversized modern market, dominated by large watches. Initial skepticism about another Seiko line dissolved quickly, as reviews praised the exceptional finishing quality and value proposition offered. The SPB 289 particularly gained cult following, with collectors appreciating the faceted case design and historical King Seiko connection meaningfully. Number 6. Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK Series. Nobody expected Seiko to offer true-color GMT functionality under $500, completely disrupting the affordable travel watch market. The SSK series features 4R34 movement with independently adjustable hour hand, bringing complication, typically costing thousands from Swiss brands. What shocked enthusiasts was how Seiko undercut every competitor, including their own Prospex GMT models, priced significantly higher inexplicably. The GMT functionality proved genuine rather than simplified, making this the most affordable true GMT from legitimate watch manufacturer globally. Market reaction was immediate, with collectors recognizing unprecedented value, creating demand that overwhelmed initial production capacity from Seiko completely. Authorized dealers reported waitlists forming within days of announcement as watch forums exploded, discussing the disruptive pricing strategy employed. The SSK Dersodro 1 black dial variant became particularly difficult to obtain, with some flippers attempting to profit from scarcity unsuccessfully. Critics questioned Seiko's strategy, offering GMT functionality at Seiko 5 pricing, potentially cannibalizing more expensive Prospex GMT sales internally. Number 5. Seiko Prospex 1970 Diver SPB 153. Seiko surprised collectors by recreating the 6105 8110 Captain Willard from Apocalypse Now when nobody anticipated this specific vintage reissue. The asymmetric cushion case and distinctive styling created instant recognition among vintage Seiko enthusiasts who had lusted after originals for years. What shocked the market was the pricing at $1,300, which initially seemed expensive for Seiko but proved reasonable. The titanium construction, sapphire crystal, and 6R35 movement offered modern reliability unavailable in fragile, expensive vintage originals collectors sought. Initial reception was lukewarm, with some collectors complaining about size differences from the original 44mm vintage reference dimensions exactly. Then something unexpected happened, as the SPB 153 gained cult following, becoming one of the most sought-after modern Seiko models. Celebrity sightings and social media buzz created demand exceeding supply, with authorized dealers reporting multi-month waitlists forming surprisingly quickly. Secondary market premiums appeared within months, as collectors realized limited production created scarcity for this specific vintage-inspired reference. Number 4. Seiko Presage Enamel Dial Limited Editions. Nobody anticipated Seiko would offer genuine porcelain enamel dials at under $1,500, disrupting luxury dress watch market completely. Traditional enamel dial creation requires master craftsmen and firing processes, making these features reserved for watches costing $5,000 minimum. Seiko shocked the industry by partnering with enamel specialists, creating limited production watches with authentic porcelain dials at accessible pricing. The SPB 113 and similar references featured Roman numerals and blued hands, creating classical aesthetics rivaling Patek Philippe Calatrava at fraction of cost. What stunned collectors was the quality, with genuine fired enamel rather than printed dials masquerading as enamel found on competitors. Limited production of 2,000 to 3,000 pieces per reference created immediate collectability as enthusiasts recognized unprecedented value being offered. Initial skepticism about Seiko's ability to execute enamel dials properly dissolved as reviews praised the flawless execution and traditional techniques employed. Secondary market activity showed these watches holding value remarkably well, with some variants trading above retail as availability disappeared. Number 3. Seiko Alpinist Return, SPB 121. The watch community exploded when Seiko announced the Alpinist's return, after years of the SRP 0117 being discontinued and skyrocketing in value. Collectors had been paying premiums for discontinued SRP 017 models, expecting Seiko would never reissue the beloved green mountain watch. Seiko shocked everyone by not only bringing back the Alpinist, but improving it with sapphire crystal and 70-hour 6R35 movement. What nobody expected was Seiko maintaining the distinctive green dial and internal compass bezel that defined the original's character perfectly. The pricing at $700 initially seemed high, compared to the SRP 017's original $400 retail, but upgrades justified costs. Market reaction was immediate, with the SPB 121 selling out globally within weeks, creating wait lists and secondary market premiums instantly appearing. The reissue simultaneously crashed SRP 017 values while creating new demand for modern Alpinist variants nobody fully anticipated happening. Seiko capitalized on pent-up demand brilliantly while introducing new collectors to the Alpinist heritage that vintage prices had made inaccessible. Number 2. Seiko 5 Sports SRPD Series Price Jump. Seiko stunned budget watch buyers by increasing Seiko 5 Sports pricing from $200 to $275 overnight. The beloved SKX successors suddenly cost significantly more, creating backlash from collectors who valued Seiko's affordable automatic dive watch positioning historically. What shocked enthusiasts was how quickly the market accepted the price increase, with sales remaining strong despite vocal complaints online. Seiko's justification cited improved 4R36 movement with hand winding and hacking plus enhanced finishing throughout the watches offered. The real surprise came when competitors couldn't match Seiko's value even at the higher pricing, proving their market dominance remained. Orient, Citizen, and other alternatives either lacked comparable features or cost similar amounts without Seiko's brand recognition and quality reputation. Critics who predicted sales collapse were proven wrong as Seiko 5 Sports continued dominating the affordable automatic market segment completely. The market realized Seiko could increase pricing because no legitimate competitor offered equivalent value at any price point below. Number 1. Seiko discontinuing affordable dress watches. Taking the top spot as the most shocking Seiko market move was quietly discontinuing the beloved SRP 0333 or 35 dress watches nobody saw coming. These legendary watches at $400 offered automatic movements, sapphire crystals, and finishing quality that punched dramatically above their weight class. Seiko provided no warning or explanation before discontinuing these models, leaving collectors scrambling to secure final examples at retail pricing. The market reaction was immediate panic buying as word spread, creating instant scarcity and secondary market premiums appearing within days. What stunned collectors was Seiko's refusal to directly replace these watches with comparable presage models at similar pricing points afterward. The cheapest presage alternatives started at $550 with different aesthetics that didn't appeal to SRP fans seeking similar styling. Secondary market values for SRP 233, 235 exploded from $400 to over $1,000, as collectors recognized Seiko had eliminated this price segment. The move fundamentally changed Seiko's positioning, with the brand clearly pivoting upmarket, leaving a void in affordable dress watches that competitors struggled to fill adequately, proving